Hey, I'm Steve Gambill, and this is Life and Leadership. I am so passionate about generations working together, the old and young combined to make a difference in their generation. And this thought, this three deep concept, I call it, is about three generations working together. And you see that right through society today. But this idea I've discovered through Genesis chapter 50, when you see Abraham, his son Isaac, and Isaac's son Jacob, all working together in three generations. And I've learned in life that if you have multiple generations working to achieve the same common goal, there's often tension and challenge, but if you can get it right, the benefit is astronomical. We see multiplication, we see growth. And so I've discovered this because in building and rebuilding and pioneering, I think it's sometimes more difficult to rebuild than it is to start from scratch. So many people get frustrated and they want to start again, but actually, if we can have these generations working together transitionally and working together for the sake of a common purpose, then it helps build in a way that's permanent. So let's look a little bit deeper about this. If we take this concept three deep, and I like to think of it in three specific ways. Firstly, roles, then responsibilities, and then in relationship. Let's talk about a role. Our role changes over time. I started off in the restaurant business and then was a musician and then used my music to help reach young people. Became a youth pastor and then of course now I'm a lead pastor. So my role changes over time, and it's so important that we refresh our role and make sure that we're growing as leaders, as individuals, as people, and make sure that as we grow in our role that we can keep training up other leaders, other people to do what we previously did. Now I know that takes security, but being secure in your role helps. Being secure that you make sure that you're much bigger than just what you do, but who you are. Who you are is vitally important. So let's move on now to responsibility. If we take responsibility, that motivates us and helps us to keep growing and keep changing in life. So responsible people are people that are full of awareness and observational skills, because it's up to the individual to take responsibility. So I notice all kinds of things. I notice things in my household. I notice things in my community. I notice things in our nation and around the globe. So it's like those levels of observation in me and noticing help me see, okay, now I look at that and I see that opportunity. Should I be taking responsibility to do that? You know, early on, when we started Rock Nations in 2001, we had massive riots in the city of Bradford. And I prayed and thought to myself, how can we change that? Well, what we've done now is we've taken responsibility to help disciple people, to help them find meaning and purpose in life. And so that responsibility started and it increased, and now it's got a life and a momentum of its own. And in that process, we've seen multiple generations working together. Now for my last R, relationships, that's a big one. So I'm going to come back and visit that next month. But hey, take some time and think about your current roles, your current responsibilities, and think about how you can make this generational in your world. And if you can do that, then you can move on to life and permanence. This is Steve Gambill reminding you that when God is for you, no one can be against you.